Hey everybody, it is that time yet again, and I am multitasking already. I'm pulling off the embroidery machine because I wanted to be able to show this, and you know how that is. So, hey everybody, how are we doing today? I am so glad to be here. I'm so glad that it's Tuesday, and I love what I do. And you can see I had posted in the group, this is the shirt that I was working on. And so I blinged up that sequenced ghost. And this is that file that I had given out a while back. I just put a satin stitch and turned it around. And then for the bow, and I'll post a picture in the group, the bow, I ended up doing white glitter. And then I put a white lace overlay. So that's what I ended up doing. So then I was like, let's do it again because I have another project. So it's going to be hard for you to see it, but I want you to cut. It's like a little cute little bomber style jacket. And I have hooped it and I have stitched the outline because I wanted you to see what we were doing. So I've already got this done so that I could do. So isn't that the cutest jacket? And I thought that would be cute. And I'm going to end up putting something up here. And we're going to put a ghost on the back of it. So let me get this hooped again. So you'll see I've kind of got camera different today. All the things. Moving machine. So I had a couple of ideas. So I wanted you to see. Oh no, June. What's wrong? So June said she was watching from her hospital bed, and I'm glad she's watching, but I don't want you to be in the hospital. So I hope everything's okay. You can message me if you don't want to put it on here, but I hope that you get well very quickly. So I had this. This is a skirt that I have had for a minute. I've worn it a bazillion times, and it's gorgeous. So look at this. So this is what I think I'm going to use as the material for this project. And I'm just going to take a section. Hey, Rhonda, it's so good to see you here tonight. I'm going to save this because I love this part, but I'm going to just take a section of this and I'll kind of lay it out so that we can use this as fabric. So this is going to be the fabric for the ghost, and then we're going to talk about the next step. So I'm just going to get a pair of scissors and start cutting from the bottom so that I can get to a piece of, and I'm just cutting up the seam of this skirt. And this is why I save things a lot of times, or I buy stuff at Goodwill or thrift stores just because I later think it might be a pretty fabric or something to stitch with. And so here I have now cut it so that it's cut apart. And I'm going to kind of lay it down and just get the best placement for the ghost. And then I'll cut around in just a moment. So let's get this. I'm just going to kind of lay. Usually I will cut a piece off, but I kind of want to move it around so that I can see where I want this to fall for my ghost. And keep it kind of as straight as I can get it. Okay, I'm going to tack this down. And that way, so I have already done that placement stitch for those that are new to Appliqué. I've done that placement stitch, and now I'm just going to do a tack down stitch of this skirt material. And I'm using purple metallic thread at the moment because I'm trying to decide, but I think we're going to talk about it. I need some guidance. So, and I'm going to admit something about this ghost on my shirt in just a little bit. so that you can see what us professionals do here. Because, you know, mistakes happen. So let me get this and this off the machine and out of the way just a little. I do know where scissors are tonight. Okay, so here's the rest of that skirt. I'm going to put this aside for the moment. And let's change camera views here because I can, maybe. And we'll talk about components and I'll let you see. It's the exact same design as my shirt, but let's move cameras. Okay, so here's the design. So here it is, and I need to trim this. And then we're going to have a bow. So the bow that I want to use, I think I want to do some rainbow holographic. So that way I can show when the light hits it, the bow will light up with this. That's what I'm thinking. So we're going to talk about that. So Reen, tonight I'm using my Quattro. So I love using my Quattro, especially for things like this, because it doesn't take up as much room on my table. Because we all know there's only so much space when I'm trying to have cameras and everything in my way. I was watching Caroline had a live the other day, and she actually had a camera in between her and the needle of the machine. So she's very talented. I'm not that good. And you can see I'm just quickly cutting. That way. I love this fabric, and I think that's a perfect fabric for tone on tone of a ghost, because it just kind of gives it, you know me, I love tone on tone. So we have this. Now I'm talking about, I want to use this rainbow, and I'm thinking maybe some lace on top of it, but I only have, where's it at? I only have white lace somewhere. Let me move cameras so that I can talk as I look for stuff. So I have white lace. Well, here it is. It's on the ground. So I have white lace. I don't have any black lace. So what I did was I just went quickly and printed on my sublimation printer a block of black. Y'all see where I'm going with this? So I'm not even trying to make a design. I just need this lace to turn black. So over on my heat press, I have a piece of paper. I'm laying down I have my lace and the black, and I'm just going to lay that down. I'm going to cover that up, and I'm going to press that. It's at 397, and I'm going to do, I think it was 57 seconds. So that way I can sublimate on that. And again, I didn't have to run to the store. I could have come up with kind of a cool design, but I didn't want it. I wanted that black lace. I dug and dug and dug through my lace. Guess what colors I have? Everything except for black. So I just decided I'm going to sublimate. My bangs are doing something funny here. Huh, it's hot. That's what it is. It's hot with this heat press on. So we have that going. Now, again, I want to use that vinyl. Well, it's too thin for me to embroider with it. So I have some black stabilizer. I'm just going to press this. So let's see. Look what I got, everybody. Well, maybe it'd look better if you could see that it's turned black. I now have black lace. It was that easy. And I think that black lace, I'm going, like I said, I'm going to stitch it on top of this. So this is just a scrap piece of black stabilizer. And I'm going to press this so that we have some fabric to stitch with. So let's go back over to my design. I see some quick edges that I did. Let's talk about what color thread should I use. So y'all can help me here. Do I want to have like a purple as an edge to give it just a little bit of color? Do I want to keep it black so that it's black, black? What do you think? I need some help here on colors so that I can change thread in the machine if need be so that we can get that rolling. So I'm going to hoop this. I see one. Rhonda says black. I'm leaning towards black, but I was going to ask. Y'all know me. I really do love tone on tone. Maybe I'll do purple on the bow. That way I have black on the ghost. And then maybe I will do purple on the ghost, on the thing. So for now, I'm doing black I'm doing black with the ghost. And I'm going to, we'll talk about purple, but we'll let this be stitching. Let's make sure got everything here as I'm rushing around. Go. So we now have black. And this is that rainbow on stabilizer. A glow-in-the-dark thread would look good, I think, but I only have at the moment like a baby aqua blue or an orange glow-in-the-dark because it was a project that I was working on. That coffee tastes so good. Everybody tell Ron thanks because I needed that tonight. So you can tell here, this is just sequins. My floor will have sequins on it for the next 10 years. It's just that's the way it is when you applique with it. So typically what I do, I keep a lint roller and a lint roll to get all of it up, and then I do a quick vacuum. But I love how cute that is. And then, like I said, I did glitter with the ribbon on top. I mean, with the lace on top, which now we have that black lace. And like I said, I may do purple. I'll do purple for the bow. And he is just moving right along with that satin stitch on there. So Dorothy says that she's never done sequins. I love using sequins. I have all kinds of colors of sequins. But I don't have all colors of lace. But guess what? You can do with sequins. You can sublimate them too because sequins are 100% polyester. And I have done, the mermaid one where I sublimate and then do something. But I really like the sequins, especially for a big like this. I did it with an entwined vine monogram. It was beautiful, but it was a lot of work to try to cut in those little grooves of the letters. But like this, it didn't take any time. And what I recommend when you use sequins, do that tack down, cut it, go back and do the tack down again, and that way it kind of makes the vibration will make those sequins move a little bit. Of course, my bobbin's almost empty. Of course it is. So let's cut thread and go ahead. I have a part of a bobbin right here. So we're going to cross our fingers that this one is enough. I might have to make a bobbin. So how about y'all, when you're doing, if you're doing like this, black on black on black on black on black, do you use a black bobbin or do you use a white bobbin? I use a black bobbin because I don't want to dare have, and I have just a little bit of a black bobbin here. So before I do anything, I might as well make a black bobbin because you know this is going to run out. You know it is. It's just going to. Since I don't have one right here beside me, that definitely means that my bobbin will run out while we're talking. So I might as well make one. Let's get over here and make a bobbin. I love making bobbins. So Shay, yes, I anytime if I'm stitching a black on top, I like using a black bobbin. That way I don't accidentally get one little bobbin thread that wants to pop up and give me white, because it just, it bothers me. So I know, and I had a little bit of one, but I thought I might as well make a whole bobbin just in case. If I make one, that means the other one will last. If I hadn't have made a bobbin, that means that it would have ran out when I had 15 stitches left. And it's that quick to make a bobbin, so I might as well do it. So bobbin is made. Might as well put the new bobbin in since I know it won't run out since I made it, right? I have been embroidering for, I'm going to say 10 years. I still, every single time I go to put my bobbin in, I set it down and I say P for perfect, because it makes a little P when you put it down correctly on a Brother machine. If you didn't know that, that's my helpful hint for the day. P for perfect when you put your bobbin down. And I say it every single time that I make a bobbin and put it in, I have pre-wounds and I use pre-wounds a lot, but I make probably as many bobbins as I use pre-rounds just because I like freestanding lace. I like things like that to match. So that's probably why I make a lot. So P for perfect for embroidery or sewing. It works either way. So let's go back a few stitches since all right. So that's going to keep going. Next, we have one more decision maybe to make. Maybe one more. What color for the eyes? I have black thread for the eyes, but I could do another color to make the eyes different. You can tell the teaching, you have to come up with ways to remember so that you can tell students how to do it. So how many of you have never seen rainbow holographic? I'm going to see if I can get this to do. I'm going to take a picture with my phone so that you can maybe see how it looks when light hits it. When the flash hits it, what it glows like. It really will. See how it really picks up that color? So it goes from kind of, it does show up pretty well here, but not really. It really will flash when when flash hits it, really has a nice glow. So for the eyes, they're going to be stitched, so I need a thread color because I did not make them to be, I didn't make them appliqué. But I like that. So should I put it in now like this direction? I think I'm going to kind of put it catawampus so that it goes and catches some of those colors at a different angle. When I look at it, it's black, but when I hold it up to the glow light, it helps add color. How does it look like to y'all when you see this? Is it got pinks and yellows and blues? You can see that rainbow. I had thought silver eyes, kind of a silvery color. How about a dark gray for the eyes? Dorothy says yes. What color for yes, Dorothy? Let me grab my silver so I can show you. So this one is a silvery white, and this is like a gunmetal gray. Or it could have purple eyes to match, you know. Or it could have black eyes. I could have made the black out of holographic had I set this file up to be applique, but I set it up to be stitches just because. Black, what color? What color thread for the eyes? We have a choice of black eyes just to keep it tone on tone. And they are embossed, so it'll come out. Jeanette, purple is your choice always. We're getting lots of purple. I can do purple. It's not my choice, but it'll look good on the back. It'll glow nicely. So we're going with purple metallic. I let y'all design these things for me. I'm the one wearing them, but y'all let you design them. Ooh, I kind of like orange now. And look, let's look at this. What about, I walk away from the camera. What about this copper? So that way it's orangey, like Halloween. I kind of like this copper. I may change my mind, everybody. I'm loving this copper. Good. Rhonda likes copper. Yes, yes. Oh, good, good, good. We got several people that are loving the copper because good, because that's what I'm rolling with. As I thread again. Okay, copper it is. Copper it is, everybody. I'm liking that. How many of you, the moment you get finished, do you put your little pigtails in your thread? Or do you let them go loosey-goosey? It was embarrassing because when I picked up the copper, there was a big bird's nest because I had not tied this off. And I don't have any of my clear stuff up here handy. I'll go get some in a minute because it's going to drive me crazy. And I actually have 4 different brands of threads because I was talking about that. So on this one, you just put it in that little groove in the bottom. I can't stand mine being a hot mess. My whole house is a hot mess, but suddenly I like my thread to be neat. I don't understand that. The orange is looking pretty, everybody. I feel like I'm doing like a little check-in here. And, you know, I'll save this piece of fabric for something. So earlier I had posted in the Facebook group, I showed, you know, colors, and I was trying to decide. Earlier I was going to put this on a black sweatshirt, and I had decided I either wanted purple or orange for the bow. And then I found this plummy purple sweatshirt, and I decided just to do white because it kind of looked good. And I'll post a picture later in the group to show, but since you're here live, I will show you. So I'm looking like it's so cute, and people are like in the comments, that's so cute. I like it. It's cute. Thank you so much. I will never be able to wear this. Never. Because Ron was running the laser downstairs. I was upstairs, and I was running back and forth just to kind of check and see how the progress was going on his project, because I was kind of excited. And I left my machine unattended. And I had taken it out and put it down and cut and then slid it back in. And do you think I paid attention if it got underneath my hoop? I did not. Are you ready? Are you ready? I had to cut it off the hoop. So this could be my workout sweatshirt, right? So when I'm hot, but look at it. The whole thing, it got stuck. I had to cut it off the hoop at 6:23 tonight. I did take a picture, and I will post it. But that way you can see, you know, I will freely admit that the mistakes I make, the things that happen, I will take pictures to post on Facebook and Instagram, because we all do that. And it was my fault because I was going up and down. I should have just stopped my machine. I should have paid attention, and it wouldn't have happened. So, Renee, I'm thinking I might like cut out a whole section and make it look like I meant for it to be like a workout, to wear a tank top underneath it. But I truly did take a picture of it, cut it off the hoop, slid it on, and Ron came up and he goes, "Oh, I really like that." And I said, "Do you now?" I said, "It's got like breathe holes in it." But I thought you would get a laugh. And Rhonda, thanks so much for laughing. I appreciate it. And I did think about I did think I could add an insert. There's several things that I could done, but I will fix it. I was looking around. I had another sweatshirt up here that the neck of it, I don't like. It's too tight. So I cut the neck off, and I cut the sleeves and the hem off to make it look like that. Oh, the orange is looking good. And I did an embossed eye in software. I think I chose embossed 100 in Dimes software. So I'll say, yeah, this is what happens when you pay attention. And I had hooped it differently on my multi-needle and moved stuff out of the way so that I could do my design a little bit different. And I was trying something out. It worked up until that last. It didn't get caught, of course. It never does it at the beginning of the project. It's always the very last. It was the bow, and it got wadded up at the bow. I like the eyes. I like the eyes. Dolores, thank you for liking my ghost. I feel all shimmery. So Jenny, you need to put on your cutter. Mine says mirror, mirror on the wall, and it's got like a little mirror on there. I'm going to show y'all the eyes before. Here, I'll do the tack down for the bow. Oh, y'all won't believe this. I was going to move, and I nicked a little piece of material in the needle, and now I got a little piece of material stuck here. There we go. Whew, this is challenging tonight, but fun. Oh, there, that shows the orange better. I love it. I love it. Kristen, you can send me your send me a message with your address, and I'll mail you one of those. Just send me a message, and then I'll throw one in the mail to you, and you can have one of those busted canvases. If anybody else wants one, send me a message. I have 2 of them. I will freely share. Okay, I'm checking all my stuff here. Is everything undone? Cut my thread. Move my thread. Now, yeah, I think I'm going to do the bow in purple. Hey, Terry, it's good to see you on here tonight. And it's going to give me that placement. I'm going to place and do this one, cut it, and then go backwards and cut my lace because I don't want to cut them both at the same time. I'll be honest. I'd rather cut one than the other. Okay. And I am trying to do that a little bit at an angle. We'll see. Because when you get over here, it's hard. Ron does a great job with my coffee. So for those of you that don't know, I am addicted to Monin coconut syrup. I think Monin coconut syrup is the best thing in the world, and that's what I use as my sweetener. And then he froths my half and half to make it all pretty and bougie. He takes good care of me and my coffee. Let's see if I can't. I'm going to have to move it. I was going to try to save, that 2 seconds of time by leaving it over there, but I can't. So I'm going to, so that I don't mess up at the very last minute, I am going to bring it over here and cut this. Pam, can't wait to meet you. I'm excited. It's going to be here before we know it. It is oh, this is going to look great, guys. Don't you know how excited I get like I've never done this before? I get all excited. Monin syrup is the best. Peach is what I keep for my tea. I love peach in my tea. And I travel with it. I feel like TSA has checked it so many times. They have put cotton, they swab it to make sure that it's not something flammable, or I guess that it's not alcohol, because I'll have it in my bag, a little 3-ounce thing of it. See how it's looking? It really shows up well having... This has fallen on the floor like 6 times. It keeps attaching. But let's see how this one does. So earlier I did see a question for Reen, and she asked, did I have any tips for sequins? And I would, for me, the biggest tip is having good scissors. So I have, I'm bleeding, people. I stuck my finger. Oh, that like smarted in a big time way. I may need a Band-Aid. So these are double curved scissors. You can tell I probably have 15 pairs somewhere around here. I just really, really love double curves. So my suggestion is when you do a tack down to run it twice to make sure it's really tacked down, because it's easy to nick those threads while you're cutting the sequins. So that's one of the things that I would say is to, again, I'm going to have to take it off the hoop so that I can get to this better. So for sequins, I definitely would run the tack down stitch twice to really tack down that fabric. And then after you cut it, I would run it one more time. So that way it makes, and what you'll see, they wiggle and jiggle as it's stitching. And that way you can make sure that, look, Ron came to my rescue. I really am bleeding, and he brought me a Band-Aid because, you know, who wants blood on this project? And you can see I had my stuff pinned down and I wasn't just right, and I caught my finger and it really did kind of hurt. So thank you, Ron, for making sure I don't bleed on our projects. As I get the Band-Aid, but that one did kind of smart. But I caught the needle and pulled my finger backwards because it hurt, and then I sliced it a little bit. Okay, so now I have cut the lace that I had overlaid on it. And all that's left to do now is that finishing stitch. And I changed the finishing stitch in software to a motif, and I did a candle wicking stitch. And it's nice because he is downstairs and he does watch. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure to like. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe. Those likes help me tremendously. And the purple's looking good. And yeah, it did hurt. And if I grossed anybody out, sorry. My first instinct was to lick my finger to get it to quit bleeding. I think I should have made my candle wicking a little bit bigger, just a smidge, and I'm going to probably stitch it twice. But it is looking cute. A few more moments and I will show you. So I typically don't have Band-Aids in my sewing room. I don't think I've done that one before. There's always a first time. Knock on wood. And it'll be one of those things tomorrow. Every time I hit that part of my finger, it's going to hurt. I do love the applique fabric. I think adding the lace over the vinyl kind of bougieed it up for a lot, and it kind of made it a little bit girly to have that lace over it. So I'm glad that I added the lace on top of the vinyl. And that's just another way that we can use some of those things that we have is, you know, we have obviously lots of different vinyls that we stitch with. And a lot of times people will say, you know, they can't use that vinyl because you can't rip it away. Any vinyl can be used. Sometimes you just need to add it to a fabric. Or in my case tonight, I just added it to a stabilizer because that stabilizer is a cutaway and it's thin. And that way it didn't add a lot of weight to that bow. And it was sitting right here. It was a scrap. When you're doing lace, be careful when you're cutting. And again, it's kind of like sequins. I like to kind of go back around it. And I use a 7511 needle. That's what I always use. And then typically I would, and I'll change my needle as soon as we're finished with this project to kind of show. Are we ready for the big reveal? I can tell you that it's hot up here tonight. And you can see, okay, see how when I turn it, you can kind of see the edges. And you can see the lace design. Let's see how it looks in the overhead camera. Let me pull that one over so that you can see that look. And let's turn my mouse on so that I can use it here. Isn't that great? Great, great, great. I love it. Thank you so much for helping me with the colors. And here it's looking gray with the light, but in reality, it's not at all. It doesn't have any grayness to it. But the eyes look they look a little more orange here than they do in reality too. They definitely have a little bit more glow. So I can't wait to wear this and see. So what do I need to put on the front of this? So we have decorated the back, and y'all can see the back, but you know, it's got the little front. So I was thinking like something here, you know, just a little like Boo Crew, or I don't know. You know, Wilma, this is what I love to do. I love mixing medias, and I love mixing the things that we already have in our house. I mean, that dress, that skirt, I'm going to say that skirt, my mom just chimed in that she loved it. So my mom's Judy. So everybody say hi, Judy. But she has probably seen that skirt, I'm going to say 10, 20 years. I'm going to say 20 years that's been around. Because I know on a cruise I wore it. So, I mean, it's many, many years ago. I can remember the kids little, they had a little bow tie that matched it. So I've had that forever. So, but it was time to cut it. It's been hanging in I have, you know, that pile that you kind of know that you're going to cut up. Sometimes I go ahead and cut it and have it ready. This one, I hadn't cut it yet because I wasn't ready, but I knew that ghost. I mean, look at the pattern on that, everybody. Look how perfect. It's perfect. It's absolutely perfect. So now I just have to decide what to put on the front. I do think I'm going to go back and run that candle wicking stitch again, just to get it a little bolder on top of it, just to kind of give it a little height. That's what I'm thinking. We're going to see. But that's my thought. And I don't know about you, but I go forward and backwards and stitch over stuff when I'm not 100% all the time, just because I feel like it sometimes needs a little bit more. And so we have been using this ghost for a month now. It's the same ghost that I have given in the files. I've sent it as an embroidery file to some people that took my stitching class, my spooky stitches. It was one of them. The SVG was in the newsletter. So it's the same design. Here's the earrings that I did out of it. So here's some earrings in that design. This was a pin that I made. Maybe I'll just put the pin on the front. What do we think? Yeah. Maybe I'll just stick that on the front. And I might add something with a little lace applique on the front to make it match. Not positive. I'll make a decision because I'm going to wear it Thursday. So tick, tick, tick. Better get going on it. So everybody, thank you so much for being here. I loved our project again tonight. I hope that you now will grab some lace. You will grab your sublimation printer. You will grab an old skirt. You'll get some sequins. So for those of you that had said I was kind of scared you haven't tried sequins, I saw Courtney in here earlier. Courtney, girl, try some sequins. Sublimate on them, make a design if you want to, and then stitch with it. I love the different things that we can do with it. And no, 100%, yes, it makes a mess. Not going to lie. It bounces around on top, and I sit there with my little lint roller I have a lint roller that's on the bottom of kind of like a broom handle, so that way I can roll it around. And then I'm going to vacuum it up. And after doing all of those things, I'm still going to have some 5 years from now. But guess what? I'll remember this live every time I step on it and I pull it off the bottom of my foot, right? So y'all have a great night. I will see you again next Tuesday. Somebody asked about how do you get to the newsletter. Just send me an email to so Stephanie says. Tell me you want the newsletter. I'll send you the latest version. And then we'll have another newsletter coming out very soon. I do have some new events coming. I have in November, I'm going to do another day of embroidery, and I will be putting that out. It'll be like the last one that we did for Spooky Stitches. It won't be the same projects or anything like that, but it will be themed for Christmas time for the holidays. So I will be putting that out the next couple of days. Everybody have a great night, and some of you I will see very soon. Bye, gang.